Nottingham Trent University, working with you. Proud sponsors of Working Week.
On today's programme, if you can hear us above the din of the refuse trucks cleaning up Nottingham, which is good to see.
It's good to see, yeah.
Well, we'll be looking at the brewing industry, how it's growing in Nottingham, how it's creating jobs and setting up businesses for people across the city.
The growth in the last year has been faster than we were actually anticipating. We weren't planning to be moving after just a year.
And the couple that got so fed up with having no sauce in the fridge, no sauce.
No sauce in the
fridge? They decided to make their own, as you do. But the special thing is, now it's a thriving business.
We've worked in our real jobs before together, so get on really well, and it's kind of perfect working at home.
And the business of beauty, we'll be looking at the Nottingham woman that's bringing a revolutionary approach to longer eyelashes.
The thing that I wanted to do that was going to be different to other companies is help people grow their lash business. I've been there and done it, so I really just want to try and help people in that respect.
Hello, I'm Rob Pittham.
And I'm Des Coleman.
And you know, Des, people out there of a certain vintage, maybe my age, not your age obviously, but people of a certain vintage will remember Nottingham used to be a big centre for brewing. You'll remember companies like Home Brewery, Mansfield Brewery, Shipston's, which is actually being revived. Well, all that might be about to change.
Yeah, because we've been to see a microbrewery. They're flourishing across the Nottingham area, and we went to see one, didn't we?
We've got several different beers here at the moment in the storage area. There's probably 7 to 9 different varieties. Each week we sell between 30 and 50 casks. They're 9-gallon casks, 72 pints in each one. And they're going out to pubs around Nottingham. We go up to Chesterfield, up to Sheffield. We go all around the Derbyshire Dales. We've gone up to the Newark way. But we also have wholesalers that come in and pick up the beer from site and distribute it nationwide.
It's a company riding a wave of popularity for craft beers. Totally Brewed in the Meadow Lane Fruit and Veg Market has moved into new premises less than 12 months after setting up.
We've only been trading for, well, just under a year, so it's been pretty quick. I was home brewing for sort of 6 or 7 years prior. I'd won a homebrew award for the beer, the Four Hopman of the Apocalypse, and that kind of gave me the extra confidence to go pro.
The new brewery is twice the size of the old one, and the growth shows no signs of slowing down.
We thought we'd try and move in the beginning of the year, January, when business is supposed to be quiet. However, our first week in January, we sold more casks in the first week than we did in any week in December. So a sign of a good year to come, I hope.
Microbreweries are popping up all over the country, with a particularly strong local community here in Nottingham, and a group of businesses all keen, it seems, to help each other out.
The brewing community is absolutely fantastic, it really is. Everyone's in it to help each other out. I mean, yeah, there's some friendly competition, but it's such a great community, and if anyone's like short of a couple of ingredients or a shive or a keystone here and there, everyone's more than willing to help.
Totally Brewed has now taken on its first employee. Tom Stone has been a passionate amateur brewer and drinker, but it's not all glamour in the brewing business.
Cleaning is really important in brewing. Obviously it's, got to be food safe and everything. You don't want to risk infection. So I do a lot of the cleaning jobs, cask washing, a lot of heavy lifting, moving massive bags of grain around and full barrels.
Cleaning may be the dull but important stuff for a brewer, but the days when they're flat out brewing beer is what they all live for.
Brew day, well, it's the smells probably primarily. The smell of the mash is just amazing, nothing like it. It's like a big hot cereal. And then adding the hops. The hops are what I like in beer. I mean, like really hoppy beers, this whole kind of craft beer revolution that's happening in this country at the moment is all hop driven, and it's what people really like, and I would definitely describe myself as a hop head. But then probably my favourite task on the day is actually getting in the boiler and scooping the hops out, and it's really warm on a day like this. It's quite nice.
With demand for craft beers still growing, Rob is hoping to take on more staff to help out with sales and spread the name of Totally Brewed around the country.
Ain't it great about the entrepreneurial mind? You can create a business out of nothing. And our next clip is about a couple that were so fed up with having no sauce in the fridge, they created their own, and now it's a thriving business.
It's shop-bought food that really is homemade. James and Pam have turned their kitchen in West Bridgford into a small-scale production line. Turning out their own recipe sauces, they're juggling their own jobs with building a business. Now, every night after work, they're in the kitchen preparing sauces and coming up with new recipes. And Pam is about to leave her job to concentrate on growing the business.
I think just in the next couple of months we're going to be able to expand through just getting our name out there and getting into more shops really. So at the moment we just haven't had the time to spread the word and kind of approach other shops and restaurants. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in the next couple of months.
It all began when James decided he could do a better job of producing a sauce, and it's grown from there.
It just started as a bit of fun really. We made a few sauces, gave them to some friends and family, and they gave us really good feedback and said, oh, why don't you sell them? So we decided to give it a try. We got a stall on West Bridgford Farmers Market, and kind of just went from there.
I don't think I've ever stirred a pot this big. And how many bottles of ketchup do you get out of this?
So this one will make 60 bottles. This is currently the biggest batch that we'd make.
There's even a Nottinghamshire sauce, which has a famous ancestor.
It came from the story of brown sauce really. So HP brown sauce was invented in Nottingham in I think the 1800s, and that recipe eventually went to a big company, and it's now made who knows where by a big factory somewhere, maybe not even in the country. And we thought it's a bit of a sad story really that Nottingham lost that bit of heritage, so we came up with the idea for Nottinghamshire sauce, and it's quite like a brown sauce except we use mushrooms to give it a different flavour but similar, so it's quite savoury.
The plan now is to find more outlets to sell the products here and then expand across the country.
The aim really is just to grow the brand, spread the word and get into lots more shops. At the moment we're really focused around Nottinghamshire, and we obviously like to build on that and move outwards to Leicester and Derbyshire, and then eventually conquer the whole of the country.
Okay, so let's have a taste. What have we got first?
So this is smoky chipotle ketchup, which we were just cooking in the kitchen now. It's quite spicy, just quite warm.
It's got a kick.
Smoky, a great accompaniment to fried chicken.
Amazing.
Like
yeah, it's quite fruity. Brilliant. So what's this one?
So this is Nottinghamshire sauce. So this is the mushroom ketchup that we were just talking about. It's a really savoury flavour, really good with steak, sausages, bacon sandwiches, that kind of thing.
That's really good and really different. I don't think I've ever tasted a sauce like that, actually.
No, it's quite unique.
James and Pam have developed more than 10 different sauces, and future plans include a chocolate fudge sauce. Maybe I'll be back.
There's an unusual look to city centre businesses nowadays. From climbing to playing golf, the high street isn't what it once was. In recent weeks we've reported on the climbing depot on Bath Street.
It's like how you can tackle a problem, and like the lost hold for me is always the most difficult hold, and you just overcome that fear.
It's just fun, like trying to overcome a problem, I think, really. Like each wall is often called a problem, and it's just like the way you have to think about it and get through it all is just quite exciting to manage it, finally.
And Des had a go at the Lost City Adventure Golf Course at the Corner House.
The pressure got to me.
And enjoyed himself a little too much.
Here we go.
Oh, nearly.
And there's also Logiclock, which is billed as a real live escape game. Intrigued, we sent Guy Kilty along to find out more.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Logiclock is a real life escape game. That means you will be locked in a room. You've got 60 minutes to escape from the room using only your mind, logic and common sense.
Okay, so here we are in the Pirates of Nottingham Real Escape Challenge. I can see padlocks all over the place. There's one on that box there, there's one on the bottle. Let's see if I can get out. Okay, so what's in here? silver bullet. What's inside? Okay, got it. Here we go. So, it's taken the best part of an hour, and I've had a lot of help, as you can imagine, but I think we've got the final clue. Here we go. Right, we're out. Well, it's been brilliant fun here. It's been really tough mentally, but I can see why this would be great for companies, for team building especially. Now let's go talk to Livia to find out a bit more about how it all works. Just tell me how long Logic Lock's been open for and who's it aimed at?
We opened Logic Lock, the real life escape game, in the middle of November. We target people who like to try new things, look for adventure.
So at the moment you've got the pirate room, but you're planning to open some more rooms. What themes will they have?
Oh, yes, that's a good question. That's a top secret. But we've got ideas. We plan to open 3 other rooms. In the first room, there will be something with science, maybe a mad professor or the mad scientist or something like that. The second room maybe plays in a casino, and the third room, who knows?
It was difficult for me on my own, but is it easier for people to do it in groups?
Yes, of course. If you are in a team of 3, 4, 5 players, if you work together and communicate, you can do it.
Well, that's it for this half, but in the next half, we'll be meeting the woman bringing longer eyelashes to Nottingham.
And I'll be finding out what beauty products you spend money on.
And we'll be meeting the latest company coming to Nottingham. They're all coming here, aren't they?
They are.
Nottingham Trent University, proud sponsors of Working Week. Nottingham Trent University, proud sponsors of Working Week.
Well, as we've seen plenty of times on this programme, Des, there's always a big demand out there for beauty products.
Yeah, and we've been to see a woman in Nottingham that created a business out of eyelashes, not just to make them longer, but to make them last longer as well.
So we're here at the new Vanity Lash Bar and in Harriet's Boutique in Market Square. Just tell us why you've opened up here.
I just really want to get my brand out there into Nottingham city centre. I've currently got a salon already in Bingham, but not everybody's prepared to travel out there. So I think there's a gap in the market for a lash bar, and the opportunity came along here at Harriet's. So I thought it was a great one to take.
So just tell us a bit about Vanity Lash, the company, and the services that you offer.
Vanity Lash is a company that I've started up probably only about 8 months ago. It is a lash training and distribution company. I've been fully trained in eyelashes now for about 6 years. And the reason why I set it up is because there's a lot of substandard training, substandard products. So really I just wanted to make a positive change really to the beauty industry.
I first had my eyelashes done about 3 years ago. My natural lashes are very, very short. So I used to wear strip lashes, but I was applying them every day, and obviously it takes a lot of time to do that. And when I found out about Hannah and her Vanity Lash, I went and had them done, and I've never ever looked back.
So just tell us a bit about the training courses, how long they last, and what sort of things people will cover.
Anybody can train. It's open to professionals in the industry and non-professionals, people that maybe want a career change. Training is currently being held in my salon in Bingham, the Vanity Rooms. There are 2 different training courses that I'm doing. I'm doing a 3-day course. This is not something that can just be taught in a day like a lot of training schools do offer. The 3-day course will provide training for strip lashes, the party lashes and these. And then there's a 2-day course which is training for the semi-permanents. But another thing that I wanted to do that was going to be different to other companies is continued support, business growth management, help people grow their lash business. You know, I've been there and done it, so I really just want to try and help people in that respect.
So how long does it take to do an eyelash treatment like this, and how long do the lashes last for?
My ethos with the company is to use the correct weight and thickness of a lash. This is where a lot of people have been mistaught really. There's lashes that are far too thick, far too long, and that's what can cause damage to clients' natural lashes. Because I only use a lighter weight, you know, I've had clients that have been with me for 6 years that just keep having them topped up every 2 weeks, and it absolutely causes no damage to the natural lash.
I've stopped the beautiful Shelley. Shelley, what are your tips for the women of Nottingham when it comes to beauty?
I'd say try and be as natural as possible. If you don't need it, try not to wear it. And look after your skin.
So if there was a beauty product that you couldn't do without, what would it be?
Probably an eyebrow pencil, mascara, just basics really. Plenty of sleep. Vaseline's good for eyebrows, I think, and eyelashes.
Do you think women wear too much makeup, or should they? Do you like it piled on?
Not really. I think a girl looks a lot better naturally, to be honest. I think when they put too much makeup on, I think it don't really make them look too good, to be honest.
My beauty tip that I use is homemade avocado face masks, and that's what I do. I mash up avocado and honey and hot water, and I put that on, and it makes your skin really nice and soft.
Less is more, yeah. Don't be too fake, but at the same time, you know, take care of yourself. It's always nice, isn't it?
What a great programme so far. I mean, we've covered eyelashes.
Eyelashes, yeah. She's setting up a new shop in Nottingham selling eyelashes.
Logicock.
Logicock. I don't think we get very far.
Yeah, we will. Let's push
Actually,
it through.
it might be quite successful with a name like that, but we've looked at Logiclock. Let's just get that certain. An unusual type of shop, not as unusual as Des might think it is, but we wondered what's going on with shopping in Nottingham, what the future shape of it is, and of course, we haven't got a clue, have we?
But there's only one man that has.
Richard Baker, Nottingham Post. Richard, just walking up here, we've passed shops that we didn't even know were here. What's going on with Nottingham shopping then?
It's an interesting time for Nottingham, Rob. I think if you go back 2 or 3 years ago, then there were some people predicting it was going to be the end of shopping as we knew it. All sorts of shops were empty, the economy was on a downer. What on earth was happening to a place like Nottingham, which has built its reputation on being the place where everybody came to do their shopping? But it's all changed since then.
And what kind of shops are we seeing? What's coming in?
Well, what's happened, if you look at the market square in Nottingham, where once there were loads and loads of shops, now you'll see an awful lot of cafes, restaurants, burger joints, fish and chip shops, this, that and the other, which all sounds a bit strange, but it's because some of these places have gone up market and because shoppers themselves have decided, you know what, we don't want to stay at home and just click away on the internet, we still want to come into places, have a day out, but if we're going to do that, we don't just want to shop, we want to eat and drink as well.
Last week we had a report on the pudding pantry, you know, one of the new kind of ventures that's opening up in the city, and the owner there, he was saying that because we've got so many students and so many people kind of open to new ideas in Nottingham, that's why he came to Nottingham. Do you think we'll be seeing more ventures like that, which might even spread out nationally, starting here in the city?
Well, students traditionally, they're an audience which is really interested in shopping in different ways and doing different things, and you only have to look at where we are in Hockley right now to see that the independent sector here is doing really, really well in terms of cafes and shops because of the student population in Nottingham. Nottingham every year has got 62,000 students coming into the city. They support restaurants, they support shops, they support places like the pudding pantry, so they are a good thing in terms of keeping the retail and leisure economy going.
So what you're saying really is that reports of the death of shopping in Nottingham were a bit exaggerated?
Pretty much overblown. If you look at the vacancy rates in the city, they are back down to where they were probably pre-recession. They've just got different things in these days. The world moves on. People are doing click and collect. People are coming in and doing shopping. And what they're also doing these days is coming into Nottingham and having a good old bite to eat.
And we talk all the time, you know, you and I have talked about the growth of Nottingham's economy. You know, it's been expanding over the last couple of years. Does that have an impact on shopping here?
It does, but the fact is that a city like Nottingham, it's got a lot of people who don't necessarily have high skills. A lot of people, for example, who might like to work on a shift. The retail and leisure economy do help people like that, so it's an important part of Nottingham's economy in all sorts of ways.
Let's take a look now at something that's a growing part of our economy, big data. It's an area that Nottingham is gaining an international reputation for. It all started with Experian and still growing fast and employing thousands here in the city. Firms like these crunch the numbers, everything from credit card spending to mobile phone use, and turn it into vital marketing information for companies. Last summer, our resident expert Richard Baker explained why it's so important for Nottingham.
One of the stories behind Nottingham is an industry called data analytics. One of the big businesses in that is Experian. What's data analytics? It's an industry which examines how people behave, what kind of money they earn, where they spend that money. And that's turned into a money spinner itself for Nottingham because Experian is one of a series of businesses that employs thousands of people examining the way that we live now.
Big data helps companies to grow, to find new markets and to improve services for the customer. And now a new firm has moved in, Onomy. Guy Kilty's been to meet them.
So how did the company get started?
So we set up a business on the 5th of January. Myself and Andy Slater, we've worked together for the past 17 years. Prior to setting up Onomy, we were founding members of a business called Quantix, which we'd set up in 2002. That business was eventually sold to a business called Interroute in 2011. And in the 3 years in between, we've worked happily within Interroute. But I've recognised that there's a great opportunity to provide a refreshed service model around database support services, and hence we've set up Onomy as of the beginning of this year.
So how many people do you employ now, and how many people are you looking to recruit in the future?
We're in startup and growth mode at the moment, so we're 8 people within the business, but we're expecting to grow that pretty rapidly. I think it's entirely possible within 3 years we'll probably be 25 people within the business. The type of people that we're looking for, we are a technical services business, so we're looking for experts in their fields around database management and performance management. But more than that, we're going to be looking for people that have a good cultural fit with us, people that are technically creative, people that really thrive on the changing dynamics of the database services market, and seeing this huge big change that we're seeing in the market now around big data. So we're expecting to get some good quality candidates from the Midlands.
So you've chosen to headquarter in Nottingham. What are the benefits of being here in the city?
We live in and around Nottingham, but working here within the centre of Nottingham in the creative quarter, we've been really impressed with the support that we've had from the Invest in Nottingham team, the various options which are available within the creative quarter, and support for grants and funding, support around different locations and office options. And of course there's a great pool of good quality graduates from the local universities, whether that's Nottingham or Derby or Leicester. So yeah, we're really happy here. We recognise we're surrounded by like-minded businesses. It feels like there's a very good kind of creative and entrepreneurial group of startup businesses right here on our doorstep in the Lace Market.
It's become a target area for Nottingham City Council, which is looking to encourage more firms like this to come to the city.
We worked with Onomy to identify what their property needs were, but also to understand the business and what their objectives were. So we worked to identify premises, we identified the different kind of support. So we linked them into various grant funding and various other initiatives such as employment hub, apprentices, etc. as well. Working across a whole host of key sectors. Firstly, life sciences. Nottingham is the city that invented the MRI scanner, and Boots are here as well as invented ibuprofen, so that's a key sector for us at the moment. Also the digital and creative industries, which Onomy are a fantastic example of. We're also working with clean tech companies, you're looking to attract those, as well as financial and business services. Of course, with companies like Experian, Icano Bank, we've got a real strong sector there as well. So there's a whole host of key sectors that we're working with.
Well, that's it for now, but next week, Des, we've got a special on the appeal of motorbiking. Now, I don't know about you, my best mates are massive motorbike fans, but I'm not allowed to have one because the kids reckon I'd probably kill myself.
You're
and
right.
They're probably right. How about you?
Me, do you know something? When I did EastEnders, they made me pass my motorbike test because I had to ride on the square.
EastEnders, wow, did you?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So
And
do you
I got
like, we'll get in a motorbike next week then.
Are we?
Yeah, yeah. You look a bit worried now. Yeah, that'll be worth watching. See you then.
Nottingham Trent University, working with you. Proud sponsors of Working Week.